Hello, welcome to this episode of the Book Fix Podcast, a podcast where we fix lives one horror book at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira.
Happy spooky season.
Oh my god, we did it.
We did it.
Oh. Are you already scared?
I'm a little scared.
You're scared?
I'm a little scared.
Oh my god. Okay, we did it. End the episode. Done.
I don't play the music. I'm so excited for this, what we're about to talk about. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Okay.
It's funny because we're gonna read. I already forgot the title.
We've changed the when we text each other, we keep changing the title.
We're not gonna really make it at the end, but it's okay because I'm not gonna.
Because I'm the final girl, bitch.
It's funny because we keep mixing the words, and now it's just gotten to the point where you're like, "Are we gonna read not die?"
Yeah. On our notes, I just put not die.
Today we are going to be talking about "You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight" by Kalynn Bayron. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Which they wrote Cinderella's Dead. It's a really good book. Read Cinderella's Dead.
Look at that freaking artwork. That's amazing. Color
really
swatch.
Color swatch.
That's amazing. I am very excited to talk about this one. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to read it a while ago. You read it a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I finished reading it at the laundromat today.
Today?
Yeah, today. I read it today.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I had read half of it, and then I read the ending today.
Okay.
So the ending is fresh in my mind.
Okay. I feel like I'm gonna need your help with some of the beats. I remember like most of it.
Okay. From what I know about you, though, you liked Cinderella is Dead a lot. Mm-hmm. So I think you liked this story a lot. That's my guess for you because we don't tell each other how we feel. Mm-hmm. I think I started off very strongly.
It's fine. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, I mean, the fact that you bought it, because you're not one to buy books without like being like, okay, maybe I should get it.
Kind of down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you bought it is a huge thing. And the only tab you have in here is writing good. So writing must be good.
Oh my god.
And
I was
hard copy? Oh my gosh.
She's got money.
And I know how much you like horror stuff.
Yeah, I was supposed to be more detailed with my tabs, but we had such a big bulk. I was like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
So I didn't even. See, it's pink. Yeah. And none of my tabs are pink. And Cheli was like, does that mean writing bad?
I know what happened. But I feel like the fact that you bought it and the fact that you wanted to put tabs in it means that it meant something to you. It really sparked joy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I feel like you are excited to talk about this one as well. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So you think I would rate it?
You're going to give it a 5 out of 5.
Wow. Okay, yeah. That's very strong. All right. I think you would give it a 4.
A 4? Okay.
A 4. I don't think you love it that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't marry it.
You didn't buy the book, did you?
No, yeah.
Actually, look underneath your seat.
I will say, I know that you really wanted to read it, and I know that you said it was mentioned on Book Talk, but I've been seeing it in like Walmart. It's been at Target.
This book?
Yeah, it's like showcased at Barnes and Nobles now, so I'm like surprised. Mm-hmm. But did it recently come out? Like, is it pretty new?
I think so, because I bought it because I saw it at Target, and I really like the cover.
Yeah.
So that's why I got it.
So if you want to read horror, thriller,
kind of
a whodunit, kind of a little bit, and sapphic book, I do recommend read this. But why don't you start with a spoiler-free summary before we start spoiling the fuck out of this book?
Okay, so Charity is our main character, and during her summer job, she plays the final girl at Camp Mirror Lake, where she is able to recreate scenes from a classic slasher, The Curse of Camp Mirror Lake. But suddenly her coworkers have been disappearing, and she quickly learns that the role she plays may be all too realistic when she finds an actual dead body.
So we're going to spoil a lot of this story. I do recommend go read this book first or listen to the audiobook. I thought the audiobook was really well done. I don't know if you heard the audiobook.
I don't think so, no.
It was really good. Yeah, go do that because we're going to spoil the fuck out of this book. Real quick. Our main character, Charity, how old is she?
17?
That's what I was thinking too. Like
18?
not an adult. She didn't sound like 18. But she's been going to this summer camp job for a minute. Like it sounds like she has a lot of experience going here. So,
and her being the final girl is kind of like a promotion, right? It's like a big deal.
But it's crazy to me that she's a teenager. But there was a part where she like called her boss and was like, "Can you be here? I think having an adult would be really nice." Like that's something someone younger would say. You know what I mean? But she's the final girl, and basically at this camp, Mirror Lake, they reenact what it's like to go through like a killer being there trying to run away. They invite a bunch of guests and treat it as if they're actually being chased.
Well, it's like this whole like event. No, it's kind of like horror nights, like at Universal. It's kind of like that, right? Because it's very like people hear about it, but it's not really advertised.
But it's kind of cool too because you book it as a group. They get to manipulate what happens, so they get to choose if there's survivors in this round, if there's no survivors. They get to choose how they play things out, and they're just acting in the movie. So it's really cool. And there's like a thing too that like you can touch, you can push any of the guests, but you just can't like injure them. But you know, if like a sprained leg happens, like I
think you sign a liability form.
Yeah, you sign a liability form. It's funny because she's like, "Yeah, I love my job," but it's kind of weird because there's like the people who like actually want to murder, and I'm like, "Nah, murder's bad." I was like, "Thank you, Charity."
Guys, I'm the final girl. Okay.
I love that she's the final girl. She's so confident in what she does. She's good at speaking with her group, with her team.
And it's crazy because she is really young, and there are no adults here. So she is very much like that person in charge, right? And she's very creative with the way that she creates blood, like bloody scenes or whatever. So she is definitely like it feels like she's the one who's in charge, even though she does call
Mr. Stedman?
Yeah. No.
Oh, I think of another one.
You're thinking of another book?
Is it Mr. Stedman?
Mr. Stedman.
Mr. Lamont.
Lamont, thank you.
Okay, wrong book. Okay, but Mr. Lamont, her boss, it's so funny because the only time that she calls him and answers, he's the most unreliable bitch.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about that job. And it's just like, can you be in charge of it, please?
You need help?
Oh, no, I gotta play golf with the boys.
Isn't it also like she will reach out to him and she's not even sure if it goes through until he like calls her later and he's like, what is it? What happened now?
And dude, oh my god, so triggering. But she also has to cover for him because he should be there. But it's like, no, he's he's out.
Actually, he's at a meeting.
He's been in the restroom for 10 years. Like that bitch ain't coming out.
Still there.
No, but she's so work oriented, good at her job, loves being there. Like it's so interesting to like fall in love with this character so quickly because she's just so, even like when they realized that they had to all stay to clean up, she was like, "Come on, guys, I'm staying with you. I got my team coming. We're great."
And we quickly learned that she got this job because she doesn't want to be around her mom's boyfriend, right? She's like, you know what? I just decided I'm going to get a job. It's better for me anyway because I'm not there. And so that's why she's also a really hard worker.
It really sucks because you can see just how little her family even cares for her. Because she has a girlfriend in this story. Her name is Bezzy. And they talk about how they never have signal here at Mirror Lake. And when they go to a place where they have a little bit of signal, Bezzy's phone's always like lighting up, beeping because like, oh, here's all the missed calls and missed messages. But that never happens for Charity.
Yeah, I definitely felt for her. I think she was definitely a character that you connect with immediately because she is so resilient.
Yes. So the first big problem that happens
Where the fuck are the coworkers?
I know. Okay, I forgot about that.
I think that's it's not like a big thing.
Who were the ones that were missing?
Who knows? I don't remember.
But they just didn't show up.
Yeah, so I think it was 2 or 3. I can't remember. 3 coworkers just don't show up for their shift, and everyone just assumes like, oh, they just left. Like sometimes this job is like too much for some people.
Yeah.
Or they're just too lazy to really put their all into it. And I think it was a little bit of both. I think she just kind of assumed like, oh, they were really lazy anyway, so they must have just left.
So because of that, they're in charge of doing like the last 3 nights. And on the second to last night, she was like, everything's going great. You know what? This is going to be a no survivor run. It sounds like she really enjoys it. She's like, oh, this is going to be good. You know what? I'm going to make you this position so you'll enjoy it. She's like all handing out the jobs. But then it gets thrown off because there's a person who approaches the game and it's like, you're not a guest and you're not a worker. And she looks at them and they're holding a shotgun. Yeah. And I will say, that freaked me out.
Yeah.
Because, oh, God.
I was just like, these are all kids. These are all children.
I don't like that shit. Because, like, I think, I don't know. It's scary that it's just a random lady who is very set on, like, the intent to kill.
Yeah, but she seems very incoherent as well. Like, what she's saying doesn't really make sense to the workers there. But she's very, like, accusatory, right? Like, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be doing this. And then Charity calls the police or the sheriff or whoever. Somebody shows up and they're very, like, dismissive to the teenagers. He's just kind of like, well. Yeah,
and I do want to say, too, first of all, freaking shout out to Charity who was able to react like, everyone go here, everyone hide. And just to mention, they all hid in like the main room except for Bezzy and I forget the other girl's name, Tasha, I think it was.
Yeah, Tasha.
Both of them hid in a like a supply closet that they're not supposed to go into because a bunch of expensive stuff are in there.
Oh, yeah. Didn't they have to break in though?
Yeah, like, they had to break into it.
Yeah.
So they both hid in there. And then she's hiding with her coworkers. I do want to bring up a few of them. Javier is a coworker that she met that is super reliable. He's just really good at his job. And she was like, I'm glad he's here because he's kind of one of the only ones that understands
the job.
Yeah. And then there's another one. His name is Kyle. And he's kind of like...
Is he the one who's always flirting with her?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Flirting with her. And it's always just like, I just don't get the straights. You know, it's like...
I don't get it.
And he was also the one...
She's like, it's never going to happen.
He was also the one that mentioned to Javier, like, I just really want to see a jackalope. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, he had to break it to him, like, that's not a real animal.
Yeah.
So, like...
about that.
He's described to be kind of, like, dumb. Like,
yeah,
there was
like,
even
not
a moment...
all the way there.
There was even a moment when they were all told that they had to stay and clean the final night when Kyle was like... I don't really want to stay. And Javier was like, what are you going to do? Hang out with your grandma? He's like, yes, she's a very lovely woman. So yes, I am going to hang out with my grandma.
Yeah, that's better than this.
Yeah. So they all have like very strong personalities, very close to each other. But when this happens, they get very scared. And just the idea of just a bunch of teenagers while this woman is grinning at the window with a shotgun. And then the first time she shoots in the air, how like scared they all get.
Yeah.
And I hated the fact that when the cop got there, he was so dismissive of the whole thing. It was just like, that's Nancy.
It's like, why are you so worried about her? She literally lives uphill. She lives like right there.
You guys are telling me you've never gotten mad and brought your gun out?
She has every right. She lives right there.
Yeah. And then he was like, oh no, she does this all the time. Or like
she's not all the way there or something like that. I don't really know. Like the way that he was just kind of like making excuses to not really do anything about it was just annoying.
And then he was like, okay, but where's Mr. Lamont?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? It's like,
and I think that's when she had to cover for him, right? Yeah. Like, oh, he's
here.
He's getting milk, actually.
Oh, he's the most hidden out of all of us. He really teaching us a lesson here. I know. Heard the gun. It was even before the gun was out. He sprinted. And I was like, thank you, Mr. Lamont, for teaching me a life lesson. But
run first.
Oh, God. Then when Mr. Lamont finally answers his phone call, she's like, this is what's happening. This is the deal. And then he's like, oh, my God. okay, what did she tell you? And it's like, apparently there's something we don't know about Mirror Lake. And he's like, okay, well, don't do the final night. Just close it. I'm going to have to deal with legality issues. Like,
oh, yeah.
Don't even do the final night. And Charity had to cancel that one. And it was like a big group that really wanted to go. But she was like, okay, we're just going to have to clean up early and just call it a night. But throughout all of this, she starts like seeing things and hearing things that shouldn't be there. Like she always thinks that she sees a figure, she hears, or she feels like a presence nearby. And it's funny because even though she's the final girl and stuff, and they're like in a horror movie, she always goes like, see, if it weren't me, I'd walk in there and like investigate. But I'm not stupid.
I'm not an idiot. I'm the final girl.
Come on. I'm not going to do that shit. So I really like that she does that. And she always contacts, like, she doesn't hide anything. She always contacts people and is like, hey, was that you? You know, it's like she investigates it immediately. So I like that she doesn't question it and she just shuts it down as soon as it comes up. So I think it's the day after and they're all like cleaning up. I don't remember. But Kyle mentions that his grandma really didn't want him to come there. And it's like, I wonder, whatever your grandma knows, I wonder if it's the same thing that Nancy was talking about. So then Kyle calls his grandma and he's just like, why didn't you want me to come here? It's like, well, didn't you hear like a lot of teenagers died? You know, and then instead of explaining further, he's like, no, you're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to. And then like,
she kind of like goes really frantic at this moment.
That was scary, dude. That made me feel like, a lot of this book made me feel that, where it's kind of like, oh God, I hate when humans do things that are slightly uncanny. And there's a lot of that in this.
Yeah. Was it at this point where they found the bodies?
Yes. Explain.
So I think they're cleaning up, right? Because they're like, okay, we're all gonna go home, and so they're cleaning up the place. And I can't remember exactly who goes into the rooms. I think it's Charity. She goes into their bedrooms, right? She's cleaning up, making sure everything's in order, and then that's when she finds one of the bodies or all of the bodies of the coworkers who went missing, quote unquote. And that's when she realizes, like, oh, shit, like, something is really wrong.
Where did she find them again?
Wasn't it just in the room?
Were they?
I think so.
Okay. I don't remember. I do remember.
I don't exactly remember, because I don't remember if she found all of the bodies or just one. Because I think it might have been one, because then she was like, well, this kind of explains the other two as well.
Was she alone when that happened? Yeah, I don't remember either. I know that she did a lot of things with Bezzy. So I'm just trying to remember like the way it played out. But yes, this is where things start to get like, oh my God, this is not right. And I think their first thing is like, we need to, well, Mr. Lamont doesn't answer, so that's a no.
Yeah. Oh anything. Yeah, to get answers from him. Yeah.
So that's a no. And then they're like, well, maybe there's something he's hiding. And then that's when Bezzy's like, well, when Nancy came, when that shooter came, we hid in that supply closet, but it's not supplies, it's papers. And, you know, why would Mr. Lamont lie about that?
Yeah. So
they go into there, and that's where they see the newspaper clippings of, like, a murder or, like, a disappearance of a lot of kids that happened back in, like, 71, which is before Hollywood started shooting their movie at Mirror Lake. So they're really confused on why the fact that this wasn't, like, a big talked about thing. I do want to mention right now that throughout that, like that whole story, I love Bezzy and Charity's relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, I really
like them
with each other. It's so sweet. And it makes me sad because Charity has a lot of moments where she's always just like, oh, this is like a forever thing. I can see us together forever. It's always you and me. And they're always just so like considerate of each other. Even when that whole shooting thing was happening, the first thing that Charity did was like, I gotta call Bezzy and make sure she's okay.
Yeah, they were so freaking cute together.
Yeah, they were.
Like, I was so glad when Bezzy and Tasha, well, I think Charity told them to come, right? But I was just so glad when they showed up as well.
Yeah. Oh God. But I really appreciate that that's trickled in throughout the story.
But the reason why they showed up is because of the 3 coworkers that went missing. And she was like, I need extra help. Do you guys mind just helping me out for the last weekend? But that was before that was canceled. So that's why they're there.
Yes, you're right. You're right. So now that they know all of this disappearance stuff is happening, I don't remember the way it played out. But I know that Porter...
They want to ask Nancy, the lady who was trying to shoot everybody.
But who went? Porter, Bezzy, and Charity? From what I remember, allegedly. No, so what had happened was Charity, Bezzy, and Porter. Like, all this shit's going on. It's like, this crazy lady who said that we don't know something, she probably knows something. So we're going to go to her and see what we can figure out. But when they get her, Nancy immediately holds a gun at them and is, like, ready to attack. But then brings them in and starts explaining, like, don't you get it? It's the owl. It's the owl that's getting everyone. And they're like, what the fuck is she talking about? And Charity is like, I'm so close to this lamp. I can grab it and I can hit her. That's what and she keeps doing that. And then there's a noise outside. And that distracts Nancy enough for Charity to pick up the lamp, like smack her multiple times in the head. Nancy,
damn, she's dead.
Yeah, Nancy falls and they run out and they make it super clear. Like, it's such a weird moment because it's like, yeah, we're going out. Oh, Kyle's out here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's just weird how it's like, oh, okay. Happens to be here at this time. But then they see another person, a silhouette, and they're like scared. They're trying to see who it is. And Charity's like, I know this person. And it's Tasha. But she's completely fucked up. And it's to the point where her insides, she's having to hold her stomach to make sure that nothing falls out. And it sucks because they're all aware of what's going on and that she's slowly dying. And they look at her and they make a face, but they're like, we can't say anything. We're not going to say anything because we don't want to freak her out because she's clearly in shock. Like, she's still responding to them, but...
Yeah, it's like the shock where you don't even realize that you're bleeding.
That fucks me up so bad. And when they asked Tasha what had happened, they were like, let's take you back to the base so we can use the landline and call for help. And she's like, no, we can't go back there because the owl is there. And it's like, it's weird that she would bring that up when Nancy just brought that up. So that means there is some, like, validity to, like, what she had said. And so then there's, like, what do we do? Do we go back? Do we...
Yeah, do we go back to the camp? Do we go back to the old lady? Like, where do we go?
Yeah, so they're kind of just stuck. But then I think they decide to go back to camp.
Because they want to use the phone.
And, oh my God, so much people died.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain, like, really quickly, like, who?
I don't remember their names.
Porter was one of them. Javier was another. Kyle...
Which one was the one where she does see an owl, but she sees the body first, no? Was it
Javier.
Porter?
I think it's Javier.
Javier?
No, I'm not sure, but...
It's been a while since I read this book.
I think it's Javier.
Yeah? Okay, but it's not at the campsite, though.
No.
She's, like, walking through, like, this hiking trail where I'm not exactly sure. I think she was going back to the house.
Yes.
And she's walking through it when she hears a noise on the side, and then she looks over, and I'm pretty sure she sees Javier's body first, and he is like fucked up.
Yeah, it is him.
And then that's when she sees the owl, right? I don't remember what happens after this, though.
Well, all I know is that all of this shit is going on, and they go snooping for more, like...
Information.
And they figure out that there was this thing called the Owl Society that had 4 members. And basically, these members were, like, protecting this land. And I don't remember how it came to it, but these Owl Society members ended up talking to Charity, right? There was a moment where they talked, and it was kind of funny because... Mr. Lamont later, who asks her about it, is like, the fuck, they didn't tell me shit. I asked them and they didn't say anything. And they're over here telling a teenager everything. But
telling you all the secrets.
What they figure out, and it's a lot.
Let me see if I remember this correctly.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not exactly sure the origin of this, but if I remember correctly, you have to, like, sacrifice something
Yes.
in the lake, right? and it gives you your wish. Like it grants you whatever wish you want. And so that's why the murders happened, because they helped them remain successful, I think. I'm not exactly sure what they got out of this.
You get a wish.
But I don't remember what the wish was for the members of like the society. Was it just like
I think
being
they all
there?
chose. No, I think they all chose their own thing, because a lot of the wishes were all like wealth, strength, power. And so going near the end, when all this bad shit is happening, fucking best boss in the world, Mr. Lamont, shows up.
Best boss. Number one boss with the little mug.
I took my 5 minutes. What's going on?
Charity, I told you not to destroy the kid.
I leave for a bit and you guys can't handle it. Oh, no.
And there's
I'm the boss here.
There's a murder on the loose.
Javier, clean this. Oh, can't clean yourself up.
Damn. Okay.
Javier, it's not your break time.
Please get up.
Come on. No, but
you don't have PTO. Come on.
He shows up and he's like, okay, we're gonna get out of here and everything.
Oh yeah,
I called the police
because it seemed like he was on Charity's side, right? Because she's like hiding or something from the owls. And he shows up and he's like, they're like saving her. I think he saved her from somebody. I can't remember who.
Yes.
And then she's like, I called the police and everything. Said that. Yeah, he does say that. And
but
she's like, how?
No, because he's like, I called the police. And she was like, okay, well, can you lend me your phone so I can call Bezzy's parents to tell her what's going on? Because she was thinking about hers, but then it's like, nah, I'm going to call Bezzy's instead. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I don't have a phone.
She's like,
but bitch. I mean, Mr. Lamont, you just said you had a phone. And then he's like, oh, gosh darn it. I got caught in my own lie, didn't I?
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
I know.
You just start crying.
I love the idea of just this boss being so fucking incompetent. He's literally like, from what we're saying, he is the mastermind of a lot of things. But it'd be funny if like, just let me sacrifice you.
Let me kill you. God damn it.
You always do this. I literally bought you guys lunch the other day.
Yeah, it was just like a half of us in Subway, but it doesn't matter.
And yes, I ended up taking the rest of it, but I was hungry. Come on, guys. It'd be just so funny
if he was just like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. But
I just feel like this reveal was kind of lame. It was like, of course it was Mr. Lamont.
Okay.
That bitch.
Yes, this one didn't hit, but it's getting there.
No,
it's getting there.
I know it's getting there.
Basically, Mr. Lamont's like, okay, guys.
It was me.
I know you guys are kind of shocked because best boss in the world and a supervillain. I know you just can't be both at once. It's funny if he was just like best boss of the world cup mug, and he's like, guys, I have a confession. He switches his best villain. I didn't want to tell you like
this is my confession.
This is my confession. What song is that?
Usher.
Thank you.
I was thinking that song.
Okay, but he basically says that he lost is it his wife or his mom? He lost someone in his life. Okay, but he wanted his mom, and that was the wish that he was going to make, right? So he's like, sorry, girls, I know you're good workers. Trust me, I know it and I appreciate it and I love you guys, but...
You were Employee of the Month for a reason.
But if you think about it, I am going to give you a break for life. Which
oh
is
my
so
God.
Crazy. No, without pay, of course. But it's like, sorry, guys.
No bonuses either. Don't ask for it.
Actually, you have to pay me. Okay. But he is basically like, I'm going to have to kill you guys. Wait, hold on. My wife wanted to be here. Nancy! And she comes.
Nancy, get your ass over here.
I know. I'm here. Like her shotgun.
You can't be like that. Anyway.
She's juggling them. It's like, she's like amazing. But it's like a reveal like, oh my God, you're fucking related to Nancy? And it's like, one more thing, bitch. And, well, first of all, it's such a big thing. And I think it's Bezzy, Charity, and Kyle who are the only ones left. Mm-hmm. And they're basically planning on killing Bezzy, right? Like, she's the one that's most hurt out of everyone. Mm-hmm. And so they're saying, like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. And it's like, well, you know, I already want my wish. I gotta do it.
My wish. The lake's right here.
Come Come on, guys. I already killed everyone. It wouldn't be cool if you just make me go all back. I'm going to have to say sorry to everyone. But they do a reveal also. The fact that everyone who was sent to work at this summer camp was because the people who sent them to work there knew that they were going to die.
Yeah.
So Charity's mom's boyfriend sent her knowing that she was going to die.
He was like, God, I need to get rid of her.
That's
fucked up, huh?
Oh my god.
When that was revealed, I was like, that fucking
Was it
bitch.
the same for Bezzy then?
Well, Bezzy was not, she wasn't sent there. She went because of...
Oh, you're right.
To help Charity.
Okay, but the biggest reveal is when they're like, oh, well, our grandson also is part of this. Grandson, make your appearance.
Well, doesn't he stab her?
What?
Doesn't he just like...
No, not yet. Because first, Kyle basically reveals that he's the grandson. And Charity, who's trying to, the way that the book says it, which I really like, appeal to his humanity. She keeps going like, don't listen to... Because these grandparents are putting him down. Like, yeah, you're a little bitch. You're stupid. You don't know anything.
It's like, I had to do all the work, Kyle. Look, you almost lost this one.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah, but Charity's like, you're one of us. I thought you were helping us. And he was like, I was. And he feels, from what it seems, he feels bad. But they basically tell Kyle that he has to do the last kill. And so he goes
It's kind of like a way to prove himself, right?
And he goes up to Charity. And from what it seems, it looked like he was going to help her.
Yeah.
Like, it was so like, yeah, we're going to get out of this. But then
get through this.
He stabs her. And it just ends. Like, it says that things hurt. It's really hot. And then it gets
She does fall into the water, though.
She falls into the lake.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends. And it sucks because basically all that we know is that Mr. Lamont's there, Nancy's there, Kyle's there, and Bezzy's there. So it goes a year later. And this is the epilogue. And it's Bezzy who is basically saying that she received a letter that was not marked. And the letter's like, I'm so sorry for what happened. Like, I wish I could take it back. So I want to repay you with anything you want, strength, power, money, anything. If you go to the place it happened, the day it happened. And if you don't come, then that's your answer.
But in the beginning of the epilogue, she has been mentioning that she lost Charity. Bezzy. This is because now it's Bezzy's point of view.
Well, yeah, because Charity died at the end. So it's like, and she's super fucked up after that. Like,
Bezzy? Yeah, she is. She's just like almost like revengeful a little bit.
Before I reveal the ending, because Bezzy does end up going and meets Kyle there. And Kyle is basically like, here's the incantation. If you ever want to use this lake, Mondays through Fridays, 8 to 5.
On it's like Tuesdays. Tuesdays we do have a cleaning. Yeah, so please, from 1 to 2 p.m.
Please don't come at the same time because the cleaner does get mad. So no.
But it is revealed. I think he tells her because she's like, why did you do it? Like, what did you get out of it? And he was like, freedom from his grandparents. Yeah,
it sucks. Because there's a part of me that wants to believe that he regrets it, but it doesn't seem like he does.
No, not really.
But I was talking about it with my friend. I texted her after I read this book. And I was like, wouldn't it seem, though, would you argue that he went there knowing that Bezzy would kill him in order to get that wish? Like, is that what he wanted? Like, he got what he wanted and he wasn't satisfied?
I think so, but I don't know, because I can't really remember his character in the beginning. So I can't remember if he has like an ego.
I don't know. He didn't. He was just aloof.
Maybe he was like not happy, maybe he wasn't happy and he felt so remorseful that he was like, I'm okay if she does end up killing me. So if she does end up killing me or not.
She does. And she repeats the incantation. But before we reveal what she got. Have you ever read Monkey's Paw?
I know about it.
Do you know how it ends?
Isn't it based? Is it based? Hello? Isn't the movie?
Isn't it based off of this book?
No. You know the 7 Wishes movie with Joey King?
Yes.
Isn't that the monkey's paw?
Yes, it is. That's the monkey's
So everything
paw.
you wish for, it's like...
It happens, but with a price.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to talk a little bit about it. I'll talk about it quickly.
No, go ahead. Take your time. This
this is going to be 4 hours.
Actually, welcome to our monkey's paw episode.
I love the monkey's paw.
Me too.
A lot. I read it once a year. Like, the monkey's paw is an Edgar Allan Poe, right? Is it Is it EAP?
Is it?
I don't remember who wrote it. Hold on, let me check. So, The Monkey's Paw is a short story written by W.W. Jacobs, not EAP.
Damn.
But basically, it's this guy who gets a monkey's paw from his friend and is like, here, you can make 3 wishes with this shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, really? I can make 3 wishes? Like, yeah, but... I don't remember how he gets it, but it's basically like, just be careful with it because it's very unreliable and whatever, but it will give you what you want. Mm-hmm. So for example, let's say if you wanted to never be sick again and you heal yourself from all illness, that means someone in your family close to you dies.
Yeah.
If you want money, and I think that's one of the things he asks for, then everyone in your job got laid off except for you. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's a price to what you're... To
make it happen.
So there was one that they did where it benefited him a lot. But with the benefit came his son dying at work. And after that, they were like, no, I don't want to use it anymore because, look at what happened to my son. And it was a horrible death. He basically worked at like a construction place and they were, I think, breaking down wood and throwing it in those big choppers and he fell in. So he completely got like mangled up. And so then the wife becomes very like, no, I need my son back. And she grabs the monkey's paw and is like, give me my son back. And the story ends with someone knocking at the door and she's like going towards the door. And I don't remember if it's the husband or like a third party, but they run and grab the monkey's paw and it's like, undo that wish. And then they open the door and no one's there. And it's kind of like, what do you think they would have seen if they had opened the door? Because it never said what state the son would come back in.
Yeah, probably the same way he looked when he died.
So with the end of this story, I thought it was powerful because Bezzy is like, there's only one thing in my life that I want right now. And she wishes for charity. Mm-hmm. And so when she wishes that, she sees a figure come out of the water. No, she has her eyes closed, I think.
Yeah, she closes her eyes.
And you can hear a figure coming out of the water.
Yeah, she's just listening to everything happening.
And so when she opens her eyes, I think the last word in this book, is just charity. Like, she sees her. Mm-hmm. And that's so scary.
Yeah.
Because it's been a year that she's been in the water. Her body was...
There was no indication, though, what she looked like.
But that's what's so fucked up about it. Like, you can't tell me that her body's fine after, unless she's, like, just super moisturized. And whoa, you're glowing.
She was, like, in an air bubble the whole time. Like, damn, girl, when are you going to make your wish?
But I love that this book ended like this. This was such a satisfying ending. Like, it's so fucked up, but I mean, that final girl did survive, bitch.
She really did, even though we think that she didn't.
I like that quote that Bezzy says. It's like, I would do anything to give her final girl, like, label back. So the fact that she brought her back, it reminded me of Monkey's Paw, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I wish we could have seen what she looked like, but I think it's more impactful not knowing what she looked like.
Just lay awake at night thinking, like, damn, what is she?
Dude, it's fucked up. It's so fucked up. So chef's kiss.
I didn't think about that, honestly. I just kind of assumed that she would have looked
hey guys,
like a model, just out of a runway. But now that you saying that, I'm like, damn, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, because you don't like waterlogged and very Geordie. Yeah.
Oh.
Throwback. I fucking loved this book. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I remember for some reason I didn't think you put this on our reads for this month. So when I saw it, it's because it threw me off that you just wrote "not die."
Oh, I literally changed the title of this book like 5
because it's called "You're Not." This one, you ain't dying tonight.
Not tonight, girl.
You're not supposed to die tonight. But I put this one off for so long, not because I didn't want to read it, but it's because like I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah,
I'll get to it eventually.
I think we were supposed to talk about it last book.
Yeah,
right?
We were.
No wonder this book feels like so far away from me.
Yeah, that was why. And when I read it, I was like, this should have been the first one I read. This was such a strong book. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it's so short and a standalone, it feels like they got everything I wanted in this book. They had characters that were likable. They had characters that were flawed. Fucking Kyle, I fucking love that bitch. Even if he was kind of... Mr. Lamont, best boss in the world.
Best boss.
And best husband. The third part of his mug.
It's like underneath is like a fourth thing.
I know. Oh my God. Fucking love it. But I don't know. It was just such a well-written story. I can see why you really like this author. And now
really like this
author. Really want to read Cinderella is Dead.
It was a good book.
Yeah. And I know you don't like Cinderella rendition. So the fact that you like that one.
There's just too many. There's too many.
Not enough. But I would say that I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. And... it's now, I feel like it's going to compete with my book of the year.
Really?
This is a good book. Damn. I recommend it to everyone. I did not think I would like it as much as I did. Mm-hmm. So she's competing with Bridge Kingdom. Like, that's how much
Bridge Kingdom?
Yeah, and you know I love that shit.
Okay. I really loved this book too, but not more than Bridge Kingdom. Sorry, girl. Imagine at the end of the year, I'm like, what? How could I have said that? Yeah. So this was actually the first book that I read in last book. Yeah. And it was such, like you said, it was such a strong, well, you didn't even read it. Well, what you said was it would have been a strong start. Yeah. It was a really strong start. It actually gave me a little bit of a reading slump because I was like, I don't want to leave this book. This book was so good. I loved this book so much that I immediately after this, I was like, I need to read Cinderella's Dead. Like because I've been wanting to read that book.
Oh, I thought you already read it.
No. I read it right after this because I was in a slump and then I was like, I need to.
How was it?
It was really good.
Oh my God.
It's also sapphic. I would recommend it. It's so good.
Such a good sapphic representation in this book too.
I know. They were so cute together. And I would agree with you that I really loved this ending. And I think I love it more now because of how much you like it. I had already liked it, but you giving it that more like creepiness, like we don't know what she actually looks like oh my God, like literally. Yeah. So scary. I actually really liked that a lot. Mm-hmm. And I really loved Charity's character. I thought she was amazing from the very beginning. I loved the characters. So when it was revealed that Kyle was a bitch this whole time, I actually cared. Yeah. I wasn't sure how to feel about the whole owl thing because I think that's kind of like overdone now. Yeah. So I wasn't sure, but I did like that whole like sacrifice in the lake and the incantation. I thought that was really cool. I thought it was amazing that Kyle's wish was literally just to be free because I think you mentioned it that it's kind of hard to pinpoint how we should feel about Kyle, which is something that makes this book so strong because I felt for him. I was like, man, I see that these people really fucking suck and I understand why you would want to be free of them. But come on, couldn't you have just like moved away or something?
I know. But yeah, the fact that he was willing to do that much to be away from them is so telling on like how desperate he was.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard to hate someone like that.
And I even loved the last chapter with Bezzy's point of view because I really felt how heartbroken she was to be a part. You know what's funny? This book, oh my God. This book is oh my God, what is it called? Wait, pause.
The fact that Charity didn't even talk. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know, right at the end. This book gives me a similar vibe to The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is on Netflix and it's really, really good. It's just that ending I didn't love, but this ending gave me that same vibe, but I really loved this ending. Like the way that You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight did it. I really, really liked it a lot. So yeah, I just really loved it all around. I would also give it a 5 out of 5, but I don't know if I would say it's in the running as my favorite. I just really loved this book a lot.
For me, it is. I don't know what's in my 5 out of 5s currently, but I know Bridge Kingdom is.
Yeah. And it's so funny because when I finished this, I wanted to tell you, can you just please read this book? Please,
yeah.
Please read this book.
Oh my God. It's so funny because I saw a post about it, I think 2 weeks ago, about talking about it being sapphic, and that was what pushed me to be like, I need to read this soon. Like,
oh my God, I should have started with that. I should have been like, it's sapphic.
I'm glad you're here to like understand how much the ending means to me.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I really like
this
book.
Shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God. What a turnaround.
From the last episode.
If this isn't in order, just like when you listen to Blackened Teeth, just like the different, now there's Animo.
Oh my God. I forgot you said that. Con más ánimo.
Thank you.
How would you translate that?
With more enthusiasm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With more animation. But thank you. Oh my gosh. I loved talking about this. Thank you for everyone who's listening to us in podcast form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. Thank you so much. If you can leave a rating of 5 stars and a review telling us what you want us to read next or how you felt about this book. Mm-hmm. Thank you for everyone who's been giving so much like engagement in our, I don't know, it's just so nice to see like there's people out there being
listening to us.
Queens, you know?
Yeah.
But thank you so much. If you want to help us a little more with that and let your friends, family, loved ones, enemies, your bosses maybe, tell them about
your bosses that ignore you.
I know. Tell them about us because the best type of exposure is through word of mouth. If you want to support us monetarily, what could they do?
So we did make a Patreon, and for right now, it really just is there for you guys to let us know that you really appreciate and like what we do here. We do post twice a week. It takes a lot of time, a lot of brain power to be able to just take in these stories. So if you want to show your appreciation a little bit more, you can find us on patreon.com/bookfix.
And if you are watching us on YouTube, hello, if you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. We end these episodes with a dice roll. Basically, if our dice lands...
I kind of liked doing 2, though. Should we
scratch that?
Should we keep that going?
Yes, I love that. So, okay, we're going to end our episodes a little differently now. Yajaira is going to look up a negative review of this book while I look up a positive review of this book.
Okay.
And we're just going to compare the views. I hope someone brings up Monkey's Paw. If not, I'm going to riot.
You're like, I'll bring it up.
Oh my God, what's it called again? You're not going to make this one. You're not.
You're not going to make this one.
You're not supposed to. Okay, so this is a review written by V Bookish, which says she gave it a 5 out of 5. It's been a while since I read the entirety of a book in a day, but this story was so good, I really couldn't put it down. While it is shorter than 230 pages, it was perfectly paced, giving time to set up the story and the characters, and even leaving us clues that make sense later. I would describe this as slow burn horror rather than a basic slasher. I love that there was enough breathing space to get to know the characters while maintaining a creepy atmosphere at the campground, and when we lost them, I was genuinely devastated. The ending gave us twists after twists. I was floored where the story went. I'm so used to the basic, easy-to-guess culprit, but the story doesn't do that. It's much more elaborate. I was on such a high after the final pages, I immediately screeched at the author over Twitter. I'm so hoping we get more horror from them.
Okay. Well, now on a more not so great note.
Yeah, roast it now.
Okay, so this review is written by Kylie. They gave it a 1 out of 5, and they said, I thought I was going to be reading a fun, comedic slasher because that is what one assumes when a book is for fans of Friday the 13th and Scream. Instead, I read a boring and weirdly short book that felt like a high school creative writing prompt. The entire first 100 pages don't really contribute to the plot. They don't make me emotionally connected to the characters, and I didn't get why a thriller slasher. The second half of the book also just rushed through. We don't really experience any of the slashering, which is fine because it's YA, but so is clowns clown in a cornfield, and that was way more fun and gory. I didn't care for this at all. It was boring. Don't bother reading it, and definitely don't expect it to be like the slashers it was compared to. I did appreciate the author's hidden nods to Scream, like having a character with the last name Lillard and another character with an Ulrich in their name, meaning Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich, which they play the two killers in Scream.
Whoa. 1 out of 5?
Yeah, 1 out of 5.
Damn.
That's what they gave it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. I have a question. So, isn't this Bloomsbury? Aren't they the movie people? Scary movies?
I think so.
The ones that made like the Black Phone?
Oh my god. Hello?
Because if it is, will I see a movie of this?
No. It's something else. I know which one you're talking. I don't think it's the movie.
Bloomsday.
Blumhouse.
Oh, we were so close. We were so close to having Zendaya be Queen. Yeah. I was just thinking, Zendaya would be a good cast for this. Thank you.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Yes.